There is an ant living in your backyard right now that has never built a nest, never gathered food, and never raised its own young. Instead, it invades the colonies of other ant species, murders their queen, and chemically programs the survivors to raise its children as their own. The workers never fight back. They never even realize what happened. And by the time the takeover is complete, the entire colony, every tunnel, every worker, every egg belongs to the invader. This is Polyergus, the slave-making ant, and what it does to a colony is one of the most sophisticated acts of biological manipulation on the face of this planet. To understand why this is so extraordinary, you need to understand what an ant colony actually is at its core. A colony is not just a group of insects sharing space, it is a superorganism. A single, unified entity operating as one body across thousands of individual animals. Workers forage, soldiers defend the perimeter, the queen reproduces. Nobody gives orders and nobody needs to. The entire system is run by chemistry. Every single ant inside a healthy colony produces and reads a complex cocktail of pheromones that function like a biological ID card. These signals communicate one thing: I belong here. I am one of you. Workers groom each other constantly, spreading those chemicals across every surface of the nest until every ant in the colony smells completely identical. That shared chemical fingerprint is their identity. It is their flag, their password, their constitution, and their entire social contract compressed into molecular information. When a foreign ant breaches the nest boundary, workers detect the mismatch in milliseconds. The intruder smells wrong, different, alien, and an ant that smells wrong is attacked, dismembered, and expelled before it can take a single step further. The system is ruthlessly efficient and has kept ant colonies dominant on this planet for over 100 million years. But here is the structural flaw that Polyergus has been exploiting this entire time. The system trusts chemistry completely. There is no second verification layer, no visual ID, no behavioral analysis, no instinct to question. If something produces the right chemical signal, the colony accepts it without hesitation. And Polyergus figured that out so long ago it is now written into its DNA. Polyergus queens are not built for colony life. They are built for one singular purpose: infiltration. Their target is almost always a formica colony, a common, widespread genus with large, well-organized, deeply established nests. The preparation begins before the Polyergus queen ever sets foot inside the target. She finds a formica worker outside the nest, kills it, and systematically rubs the corpse across her own body. She's not eating it, she's not defending herself, she is harvesting its chemistry, lifting the colony's exact chemical profile and coating her own exoskeleton with it molecule by molecule. This is not approximate mimicry, this is precision duplication. When she approaches the nest entrance and the guards scan her, they are reading the chemistry of their own colony reflected back at them. They stand down completely. But she doesn't stop at the entrance. Polyergus queens carry an additional biological weapon: secretions produced by glands in their body that actively suppress the aggression response in host workers. This compound doesn't just fool them, it sedates them on a neurological level. Workers that come into contact with her become passive, disoriented, and chemically incapable of mounting a defensive response. The alarm signal gets jammed before it can propagate through the colony. She walks past foragers, past nurses, past soldiers, deeper and deeper into the nest. Every worker she passes reads the chemistry and does nothing. She moves through the colony like a ghost wearing the colony's own face. She is heading for the queen's chamber, and when she arrives, there is no standoff, no dramatic confrontation, no battle. There is only a calculation, one that Polyergus has already won before it begins. The Formica queen is the reproductive core of the entire colony. She has been laying eggs for years, sometimes decades. Every worker in that nest is her offspring. The colony's present and its entire future run through her body. The Polyergus queen kills her. not in open combat, not with a siege. She mounts the host queen, bites through the base of her neck, and holds on. The host workers around them, still chemically suppressed, do not intervene. In documented observations, some workers actually groomed the Polyergus queen during the assassination, cleaning and tending the very ant ending their colony's bloodline. The host queen dies within minutes. Immediately, the Polyergus queen performs the most important step of the entire operation. She coats herself with the dead queen's pheromone signature, the chemical signal of reproductive authority that every worker in the nest is neurologically wired to obey. She absorbs it directly from the corpse. When she begins moving through the nest after this moment, workers do not register a stranger. They register the queen's chemistry, their queen's chemistry. The behavioral shift is instantaneous and total. Workers begin feeding her, grooming her, protecting her. They have been chemically convinced that their queen is still alive, still present, still in charge. Only now she is producing different eggs, Polyergus eggs. And those eggs get carried to the nursery and raised with the same devotion the workers would give to their own siblings. Simultaneously, Polyergus workers, already hatched from earlier raids on other colonies, launch new attacks on neighboring Formica nests. They move fast, in tight raiding columns, overwhelming nest defenses and stealing pupae before any coordinated resistance can form. Those stolen pupae come back to the hijacked nest. The host workers raise them too. The colony has become a production machine, operating entirely in service of a species that did not build a single tunnel, lay a single stone, or invest a single day of labor into creating it. This is where the system reaches its most unsettling level. Adult Polyergus workers are physically incapable of feeding themselves. Their mandibles are long, curved, and hardened for combat and carrying, not for cutting food, excavating soil, or tending larvae. A Polyergus worker placed alone, without enslaved Formica workers to feed it, will starve to death within days. This is not laziness. This is evolutionary specialization driven to a structural extreme. The Polyergus lineage traded every domestic function away in exchange for maximum raiding efficiency. They became the perfect weapon by eliminating everything that wasn't the weapon. They are what biologists call obligate social parasites, organisms that cannot complete their life cycle without a host. The enslaved Formica workers raise Polyergus larvae with identical care to their own brood, and the larvae make this easy. They have evolved to produce chemical signals that match the colony's scent profile. The deception is layered all the way down from the queen to the newest egg. As the enslaved workers age and die, they are replaced by new stolen pupae from fresh raids. The original Formica population slowly disappears. The colony's workforce becomes predominantly composed of Polyergus ants raised by Formica workers who had no idea what they were nurturing. The colony that once existed is gone. Its body remains. Its tunnels, its chambers, its labor, all of it continues. But it belongs to someone else entirely. Scientists studying Polyergus have documented something that reframes this entire story. This is not a static relationship. It is an ongoing arms race with no finish line. Formica colonies in regions with high Polyergus pressure have developed sharper chemical detection. Workers in these populations respond faster to infiltration attempts, fight harder during raids, and successfully repel attacks at measurably higher rates than colonies in regions where Polyergus is rare. The parasite is applying evolutionary pressure on the host. The host is pushing back. Each generation sharpens both sides. Polyergus responds by producing increasingly complex and accurate chemical mimicry. Some populations manufacture what researchers have labeled propaganda substances, compounds that do not just suppress aggression in host workers, but trigger them to attack each other, generating internal chaos and confusion that makes the invasion dramatically easier to execute. Neither species chose this relationship. Both are locked inside it, each one shaping the other across millions of years of evolutionary pressure, neither able to step out, neither able to win permanently. We talk about identity as if it is something internal and immovable, something no outside force can reach without our knowledge. But Polyergus demonstrates that for a social organism built on trust, identity is not internal at all. It is a signal, a broadcast, a chemical pattern agreed upon by the group. And if you can copy that pattern with enough precision, loyalty follows automatically, completely, and without question. The colony does not protect its members, it protects its chemistry. The moment that chemistry is controlled by something else, every act of cooperation, every sacrifice, every year of collective labor becomes fuel for the colony that replaced it. That is not a flaw unique to ants. That is the cost of building something powerful enough to require total trust. Any system built on complete loyalty is always one perfect imitation away from becoming someone else's engine. Polyergus did not break the colony. It did not overpower it or outlast it. It simply learned the password, and the colony opened every door.